All right.
I'll do.
Welcome to episode 6. Episode 6.
Is it 6?
It's number 6 of No Frills Podcast. Special dogcast episode.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
If you can, I don't know if you can hear him.
There he is.
There he is. Yeah, we're at Simon's tonight. Special after work dogcast. Here he is. Get the dog on the mic.
Go on. Go away, good boy.
Go on.
Oh, he'll be fine.
He's excited now. Not so much when I got here though, eh?
No, he tried to maim you.
He's warming to me. He's warming to me.
Fine, he'll probably be making a racket throughout it.
I can't make it. There's only 2 dogs in the world that I've met that are unsure of me, and that's Shah's dad's 2 dachshunds. But you know when the owners are Weriton, it's a bit like that. So they pick up on it. So anyone new in the house, they don't even come to them.
Well, he's
They're
usually
just not
sound.
scared.
He's usually absolutely fine with new people. But we had a workman in the house who just like oofed him out of the way, like grabbed his collar and flung him out of the way. And then since then, he just hates anyone in the house. But if you take him outside and let him have a sniff outside and walk in with him, he's usually all right.
That's it. He's been fine with me before. He's back again.
He'll be sound. We'll go and have a kip in a minute anyway.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
So what have you got to talk about?
Well, what's happened since the last one? It's been 2 months, hasn't it? A month.
It's been too long.
It's been too long.
Was the last one the Christmas one?
No, it's been after
Feels
that.
like it was.
It's like February. I'm drinking really nice coffee. What coffee are we drinking?
It's just like supermarket home brand, but it is the bollocks.
It smells amazing. I've got it out of a French. Is it a French or a Boston cup? It looks like it's a Boston. I guess it's a Boston
cup.
because it's
Everything's
your
Boston
cup.
Terry,
I guess
isn't
it's
it?
all Boston. Everything in my sister's is all Frenchy because of Obi, and he's like, well, he's a little. I think he's got Boston in him somewhere. He looks a bit suspect. He used to do that thing as well. When he used to be a bit crazy when I used to see him. But my sister used to set him off like that.
Yeah.
She used to be weird like that because I used to look after the dog all the time when I managed the shop, and he'd just sit next to me for 8 hours and he'd just sleep. If someone new came into the shop, he'd just walk up to him, have a sniff, and he'd go back to bed again. And she was like, I don't know how you're doing it. I don't know how you're doing it. But then when she would be in the shop, she would always be worriting. She'd always be worried that he'd be barking at people. So he'd pick up on it. The door would go with the customer. She'd be like, oh my God, he's going to bark. And he'd go, am I supposed to bark? Am I supposed to bark? And he'd start barking. You'd go, whoa. And she'd just bring him back down. But whenever he was with me, he'd just sleep. All the dog ever did was sleep. But he just seemed to be amped up all the time. My sister was worrying constantly about him barking at people. Bizarre looking dog. But he looks a bit like a staffy. He's like brindle and quite stocky. He's a proper fat boy. So he's...
He just burped then, did you hear that?
he's burping because he's got that treat. Just gave him a treat.
Bribe him with a treat as big as his head.
It was massive.
Gone in 10 seconds.
It's gone. It's gone. It's coming out now, isn't it?
I hope not.
Oh.
So yeah, what have you done in the last 2 months then?
I've been enjoying Easter. Easter was a good one. And it's been crazy in Derby. I don't remember it being this bad. I think normally because I used to work bank holidays. But I had bank holiday off this time. It's the first time in Derby that I've had a bank holiday off. So we had finished on the Thursday, so I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. So I've had like nice time off, and it was pretty raucous in town, to be fair, because the weather's been nice, hasn't it? I've seen some sights, things I shouldn't have seen, some pink wobbly bits I shouldn't have seen, and then there's also been like a crazy amount of drinkers in town. It's been absolutely mad.
They've all been phoning us. I've been working all bank holiday weekend. I've come off nights and gone back on dates, and my first week of working like normal human hours was bank holiday, Easter week, so I've been in all over it.
You've been all over.
Just getting abuse off people you can clearly hear in the background, just sat in a beer garden having the time of your life.
Yeah.
You're in work, sweating your back off.
asking for
Being
bets.
screamed at off people. It was not fun.
No, it's been a weird one. I quite enjoyed what would it have been? Monday, yeah, Tuesday today. It would have been Monday, yeah. I quite enjoyed the Monday, because by that point everyone had drunk themselves dry then.
Yeah.
And no one goes out drinking on the Monday, do they? Because
No,
the last day that becomes the Sunday.
I got work the next day.
So
Everyone's
it was
on
a
best
bit-
behaviour then.
It was pretty crazy, so it was nice. I had the windows open, playing a few video games and that. But normally, this is like dead sad, but on like a Sunday morning, what I'd normally do is I've got to do all the housework, right? And do all the grocery shopping, all the laundry. But in my living room, that's where the washing machine is, so it's dead loud. So what I'd normally do is pack my bag, put my bags for life in, put put the laundry on so it's really loud, and then go and have my breakfast at Witherspoons on my own.
Decent.
And I go and watch people in Derby on a Sunday morning on my own. And it's amazing. You see some right sights. So I've been in there. But I went in on Sunday, not realising how... I didn't realise how high in regard Easter is, holiday-wise. Obviously, Christian-wise, it's like, if you don't believe it, that's the kind of be-all, end-all, isn't it? It's a bit like Christmas. I didn't realise it was as bad as that. So I went to go and have my Witherspoons. Obviously, it was open. And then I went to go and do some shopping, thinking it'd be on Sunday hours. Nothing was open.
No.
It was like The Walking Dead in town. And it was like, I actually quite enjoy walking about, like seeing some people, a few zombies from the night before or whatever. It was proper, it was all right. Quite enjoyed it, man. But some of the people in Derby were killing me. I saw a guy that was like, you know when people got weird habits and weird things that they do and weird little flexes they do? There was a guy, right? And he was, I was in Witherspoons and he was sitting there and they do like an English breakfast with like refillable coffee, like unlimited refills for like £6 something. It's like, I can't buy that in for myself, so I go and have it, right? And this guy was sat there and he was talking to his wife through everything he was having. Like, I'm having this breakfast with this, and I'm having this, and I want 2 orders of black pudding, because you could order black pudding as an extra. So he wanted 2 extra black puddings, right? And she was like, what do you want to drink with it? And he went, I'll have a beer. She goes, well, what beer do you want? There's like all the pumps in there. And he goes, hang on a minute. And so he got up, then walked over to where you ordered the food, where the pumps were, selected a beer, came back and went, I'll have that, whatever it was, IPA. And then made her get up and go and order it from the place that he was just stood at. And I was like, that's so weird. This guy's a weird guy.
That's proper old-fashioned, though.
Yeah, he could have just gone, I'll go and get it when I go and look for my beer. What are you having? And didn't do that. And then when the food arrived, the guy went, I've got a large breakfast with 2 extra orders of black pudding. And he went, yes. And then like put his hands up, grabbed the plate off of the waiter and put it down. Like he wouldn't even let the waiter put the thing... put the plate down, so yes, and put his hands up and grabbed it off it like it was the best day ever, and then started to critique and review the breakfast as if he was on like a daytime cook show or something like that. He's like, oh, they could have done this sausage a bit better. And I was like, mate, it's Wetherspoons. This can cost you £6. You don't want to think about what's in that. You do not want to think about what's in that. It's just people like that are everywhere.
It's like proper old school. That. I don't know if I kind of like it or I'm horrified by it.
It just made me laugh that he walked to the exact point that she had to walk to, and then wouldn't let the waiter put it down. He wouldn't let that waiter put the food down. It was just too. I sit there with my book. I even tried to like doodle him dead quick. I thought maybe I'd draw him another day, but I haven't got around to it yet. It's one of them weird guys, slightly older, losing his hair, but didn't want to let go. So he got like the bit at the front,
brush
the toilet bowl, and then just like this weird bit in the middle that was just like, it just looked a bit bizarre. Weird fish. Zip up fleece.
Oh, standard.
That kind of guy.
Standard.
Moccasins. Wetherspoons is the place for it, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we go Wetherspoons on, we used to go when I was working nights and we'd finish at like 7 in the Monday morning, just finish an 80-hour week. It sounds horrendous, but that's like our, like 8, 9 o'clock, really, isn't it?
That's it.
When you get in from work and have a beer.
You slid it back like that.
So we used to finish work at 7 on a Monday morning, and we used to go to Wetherspoons in Newcastle. And you stand there and you're waiting for it to open, and then all the old blokes turn up. He's like literally just got out of bed and shuffled there, smoking the rollers. And you see some proper absolute animals.
And then kicking off at it. It's kicking off.
1 minute.
Kicking off. The dog's kicking off with the cat.
Right, behave. There's going to be a lot of that tonight, I think.
That's all right. A few interruptions. The cat's shit off on the side. The dog's trying to get up.
Is Witherspoons International?
I don't think it's over here. I think it might just be over here, you know.
What's the American equivalent?
I don't think there is one.
There
isn't a chain
be.
pub. They don't do chains so much over there when it comes to like food and drink. They do obviously like that, but not pubs like that. There isn't like a brewery that does the entire of the US because it's too big, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's not like one brewery. It's like everywhere's like a free house. It's just everywhere just gets the beer from wherever, I guess. Which is a weird thing because obviously that's just the standard here, isn't it? Like it's just a standard thing that a brewery with certain beer will look after a certain bar or whatever. But I guess over there it's a bit different, and they just have whatever. But yeah, Wetherspoons is a national. I'm guessing national chain of like cheap pubs, isn't it?
Well, I think because I'm so used to like Wetherspoons being absolutely everywhere. Like you can go on holiday anywhere in the UK, and you'll be able to find a Wetherspoons and know exactly what you're getting. You get the exact same food. exact same beer, exact same price. Like it's just standard. And there's a
Yeah.
chain in Manchester called Josie Foltz or like Joey Oltz, and it's just like a smaller version of Witherspoons.
That's all right.
And but I thought that was the same. I thought they were everywhere. And like when I moved to Stoke, I spent weeks looking for like the local Oltz pub, and there's just none.
No.
But I didn't realise that it was just like Witherspoons have got the monopoly on it.
Yeah, I suppose they have. Is it true that they buy going out of date beer? Is that the thing?
I think that's just a rumour, because of how cheap it is.
Like it is ridiculously cheap.
I don't understand how they do that, because they have the Monday Club, don't they? And it's like
they do. Yeah.
It's that long since I've been to. It's that long since I've been in one. But I think the one in Manchester we used to go from 1 o'clock till 5 o'clock on a Monday. It was a Monday Club, and it was £1.10 a pint.
Yeah, that's like 15 years ago prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm going back 2 years, 3 years.
That's dirt cheap, that.
Like, for like comparison, average price for pint now is about £3 or £4 in the pub.
Oh yeah, if you went to, there's a place in Derby called the Bless that we go into. It used to be a rock. When I first moved to Derby a couple of years ago, it was like one of the last kind of rockers kind of hangouts before you go to the clubs.
Yeah,
like a proper pub, pool table and everything. But now it's kind of become a bit chavvy. But I went in there maybe a few months ago, and for like Hop House 13 lager, it was £4.30 for a pint.
That's shocking, isn't it? You get 6 of them from the supermarket for that.
Yeah, and I was remembering back. I was trying to tell this to people who was around who probably weren't then. That when I first started drinking when I was 15, it was £1.19 a pint. You can get a pint for £1.19 of like, I don't know, was it Foster's or Carlin lager, or like a John Smith's or something like that, or a Worthy's or something like that, like cheap bitter.
Worthy's beer.
Worthy's was the one, wasn't it? But it's £1.19. So you're paying £2 something for 3 pints. That's like cheaper than the supermarket.
But I don't get how people go out every week nowadays. Like I've got mates that are literally they're out Friday, Saturday night every single week. Like if I go out, I could go out for like a quiet one, just me and the wife, and spend £100.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's not even. That's like being sober enough to get home.
Yeah, that's it.
Like no issues. Like these go out and get themselves in that much of a state that the mates are putting them in taxis home and that, like you do when you're 18.
That's it.
I just couldn't afford to do it.
No,
couldn't do it once a month.
Yeah, because you're talking like 20, 30 quid. Used to get you absolutely rat-arsed, and a kebab, and maybe a taxi back. Yeah. We only lived like a mile from the city, like from town centre in Stafford.
Like when I lived in Manchester, there used to be there's a bar called Bar.
Nice.
And it was
the bar.
It was weird. It was upstairs was a club, and then downstairs was just like an absolutely horrendous like rave. Do you remember when you first started going drinking? Like in pubs and stuff. Was you 18 or was you underage?
I was underage. I was 15 then.
I was about 15, 16 in my last year of high school. And we used to snack. We started off like drinking in the park and stuff like all kids do, and we started sneaking into pubs.
White Lightning for £3.
Sneaking up to Manchester city centre. Like you could get that basically in the city centre. There's obviously you got Canal Street, like the gay village. All the gay bars are, and they were dead easy to get into. Like you could just, it was dead easy blaggy way in. So we used to go drinking around there. And like I used to always, on my way home, like be proper psyching myself up, thinking I need to get in the house now. I need to convince my mum that I'm completely sober. And I just remember this one night, like I don't know whether she had or whether she hadn't, but I don't think she'd clocked on to what was going on. I think I was like getting away with it. And I was proper psyching myself up and like practicing talking and stuff on the way home, thinking like I'm going to absolutely nail this.
Practicing talking.
And then I remember I got in and she'd gone to bed, and I just felt like, well, she's never going to believe me. So I went and woke her up. Just to like go, hey, look, I've not been drinking her out. I'm sound. I've just been at my mates playing computer games.
She's thinking of alcohol, probably.
And obviously, like completely give the game away. And then that was the end of that for a while.
No, I think I was. In fact, I would have been 15. This is terrible. When I was 15, me and my girlfriend at the time went and got tattoos. Right, this is how bad it was.
Oh, it was a great decision.
£30 tattoos, so you can imagine what it was. It's an absolute shed of shit on my back. Actual tramp stamp. First tattoo, actual tramp stamp. But because I was 15, they didn't ask for ID. And then you go into the local rock pub, which was the Firkin in Stafford, which is where you could get drinks for £1.19. And go in there and they say, you got any ID? So, got a tattoo. They'd be like, oh, that's close enough. Must be 18 somewhere. And that was it. So from 15, I was there. Because then once you were local, they didn't ever ask again.
Yeah.
So you just carried on going to the same bar and no one ever questioned. Until you got to your 18th birthday, you was like, I'm 21 now.
Yeah, you come in with a big 18th badge that all your mates have made you wear.
And I'm sure that looked older. Like if I see a 15-year-old now, it's a different species to what I was at 15. But I'm sure that I didn't look 18. I didn't have like a beard or nothing. I didn't have that until I was 18.
I didn't have a beard until I was 28. I've never been able to grow a beard.
I grew mine as soon as I could.
I always looked older than my mates, but I never looked old. I never,
Yeah.
like, no one ever commented saying, "Oh God, you look a lot older than you are." But I look the oldest out of my mates, so it always fell on me to try and get served in shops and
That's
stuff
it.
and in bars. But I managed to get away with it somehow. I just don't think they were as strict back then.
I don't think they were. I don't. You know, when you hear stories back of like in the 70s, I remember like friends of mine telling me that, like older friends, that when they were to these village pubs and they drive to village pubs and drink.
Yeah.
And like the adverts then were like, oh, don't have that sixth pint. Do you know what I mean? Rather than now, where it's just like, don't drink at all.
What I used to do to first get served was my brothers were both worked on building sites, so I just used to nick one of their like proper gammy jackets and like an high-vis, and it's like walking around 5 o'clock just to get your face on, so it looks like you're coming in after work.
That's
like
it.
set it up on the Wednesday night or something, and then come back in on the weekend with all your mates and try and get away with it. It works sometimes, but yeah,
That's
they're
it.
definitely
Sneaky.
onto that.
No, that was it. You go in, you got a tattoo. Yeah, that's close enough. Okay. It was a shit. It's a terrible tattoo, but it was like,
It's paid for itself over the years.
so that £30 was, 10 pints worth. But it got me. It
It's
got me. The
cheaper
rest of
than a
them pints.
fake ID, and you can't lose it.
That's it. Yeah, but I think it was just different then. I think people were different about drinking then because it wasn't. You could advertise drinks then, couldn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Simply like
Do you
you
remember-
could advertise these mad offers and crazy shit that you'd have.
Yeah, yeah.
Back again, more coffee. I've got the worst hiccups.
It's not worse than the hiccups, especially as an adult. It's a proper child's thing to get in it.
grown man with the hiccups. I'm not saying it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I ate half a bottle of hot sauce with my dinner. See, it's going to be well
You
timed.
shouldn't have made a thing out of it. They're going to be listening for it now.
That's it. Going to be listening now. But I was in a rush to come here after work. It's about an hour away. So I decided I'll finish work, get home, put some dinner on. Put the chicken in the oven with all the cauliflower, got all the roasted veg in the oven, and opened a new bottle of hot sauce, thinking that if I just opened the cap and it would be like one of them slow pour kind of vinegar, spread it on. And it wasn't. It was just the open bottle and poured a half a new bottle. So it was basically chicken and vegetables swimming in hot sauce. I've eaten the entire thing, and I just got hiccups twice in a row now. So I can't stand it. So I'm going to hope this coffee gets rid.
You've gone dead red.
Oh, I'm trying to hold my breath.
I'll have to try and scare you.
Yeah, it's just going to keep coming out. Whew. Trying to hold my breath, but that doesn't work. Has that ever worked?
No, it's all just old wives' tales, isn't it?
Oh, no, yeah, it feels like that. I don't think I've had it for years and years. Now I've got it like twice in a day, 3 times in a day. It's a nightmare. I was trying to do a podcast, talk, and drink hot coffee at the same time. What else have I seen this week?
What happened in Subway?
I nearly saw a fight in Subway. Weirdly. It was. I don't know whether it was funny until afterwards, though. It's one of them moments where it was like, I finished work about 4:30 in the afternoon. So I thought, I've got to pop to town and get something from town. I'll just splurge out. I'll make tonight the cheap night. I'll go to Subway because it's next to where I need to go and do my grocery shopping or whatever. So I figured I'd go in there. And I went in, and there was 2 chavs and a staffy behind the door.
Standard.
So they're there. There's a couple of chav girls in the booths, and then there's a couple of us waiting in the line to go and get what we want. And so I sit down after I've got what I've ordered. I'm sitting down. I'm just watching. I'm observing people, as you can tell by that Witherspoon story. So I'm sitting there. I'm just listening to these chav lads talking, thinking, weird that they've got a dog, like an eatery. You wouldn't take a dog into McDonald's or anything like that, but there's a dog in Subway. There's a massive...
You said eatery and then followed it with McDonald's as an example.
Well, you wouldn't get a fast... Yeah,
Fine
they
dining.
never normally let animals in fast food restaurants, but in this fast food restaurant, there is a massive staffy. And so I'm loving the dog, but I'm just thinking it's a bit weird that he's here enjoying my tea with me. And then there's these girls in the booth talking dead loud. I was like, God, they sound dead aggro. I was like, oh, fair enough, we'll see what's going on. Let's have a listen in. And then, whilst I've got these two in my head, I'm looking at these 2 groups of people, I'm thinking this is where the trouble's going to kick off if there is any. Think this could be really funny. There's a guy in a red hoodie, just a normal looking, bald guy, maybe in his late 40s, who's like, what he wants whatever he's asking for, but they haven't got it in stock because it's like last thing on a Wednesday night or whatever. And then he starts like kind of half joking, saying that the lad should give him free stuff on top. And then he starts getting louder and louder. And I was like, well, this joke wasn't funny. Like, he's just like a bit of a knob. He's just a bit of a knob. I'm the customer. You should give me some free stuff. If you haven't got that meat that I want, you should be able to give me free of this meat instead and this and that. But it just gets escalating to the point where it's like, it's dead weird. Like this guy, and this young lad behind the counter just did not know what to say. Like, he's working at Subway for minimum wage. He's just got this guy who's like trying to be funny. Yeah. Not really that funny. What he wants to say is, mate, I've got what you want. Fuck off. Yeah. This guy's going on and on and on. To the point where the kid goes, I'm sorry, just whatever, and actually gets a little bit curt with him. So the guy goes, where's your manager? And I go, oh no, here we go. Thinking this is going to be good.
Pulled the Karen card.
So we'll call him Karen. So he pulls a Karen. To which point the manager comes in, and she's like a 20-something-year-old, tattooed, dyed hair. She doesn't give a shit about Subway either. So she comes in. What's going on? This guy hasn't got this, and this, and it's like as if it's him that hasn't got it. It's like, well, no, we've run out. It's a busy day. Let's get into whatever it is. I know what their policy of running out of food is, whatever it is. And so it starts escalating more. Now the manager's in. I'm like, this is getting weird. This is like, can I have some ham? He's like, oh, I haven't got any ham. I go, okay, mate. I'll have. Yeah, that's it. That's it. This has been going on for 5 minutes over here now. There's a queue forming. It's getting a bit weird. And then all of a sudden, one of the chav girls in the booth shouts across the entire restaurant, which is now getting fuller because there's people waiting behind this guy. He goes, oi, mate, stop being a cunt. I went, oh, shit. Now we've got a situation. Because she didn't go, come on, mate, leave him alone. She went in at 11. Yeah, you can't really back off from the C word like that. So she dropped it in there. He's turned around. How dare you talk to me like that? She's like, mate, they haven't got what you want. He's like, yes, but I think I should be reimbursed because and they're shouting across the length. Like, it's a huge length of space. It's a huge distance. And he's bellowing. She's bellowing back. They haven't got what I would like, and I was bellowing her. And she goes, mate, she wanted sweet corn, but they haven't got any. So she asked for something else. Stop being a fucking cunt. And I went, oh, shit, it's kicking off. The guy turns around to her. He starts walking down towards her. And I'm thinking, this is going to kick off. This girl's obviously been in a lot of altercations because then she stands up and says, don't come any closer to me. You don't come any closer to me. He goes, I'm just coming down here to pay. She goes, no, the payment's over there. You're coming too close to me. She says, you stand there. Don't come any closer to me. He starts going off it, and then she calls him an F and C again. At which point he goes, what does your dad think of you talking like that? And then it switches up to gear 6. She goes, ask me about my dad again. Ask me about my dad. Turns out her dad had just died like a week earlier. And now this girl's about to stab this guy in the hoodie. The queue is holding the guy back. Her friend's holding her back. She's got Sandwich Jordana clothes. He hasn't got what he wants. The dog still hasn't made a peep. I'm just looking. These dogs. Mate. It went from 0. When she mentioned the C word, it went up to 11.
And then he mentioned her dad.
And then he mentioned her dead dad. And she stood up to kind of be, and they're kind of like 6-10 feet apart. And she's like, you do not come any closer to me. And I was like, wow, she's really aware of situations. Like, she's obviously been in a lot of situations where people are getting too close to her. She's been here before. And then when he mentioned that, she went to like DEFCON 4. It was going like the queue of people that's formed is holding him back. She's getting held back by her mate. It was, oh mate, ask me about my dad again. My dad has just died. Ask me about my fucking dad again. I went, oh shit. And it just made me laugh because the entire time I was thinking, there's 4 chavs in here and a dog. Like, if it's going to kick off, do you know what I mean? And it was the guy who gave that under the radar. This guy had come in. I was like, someone's about to get stabbed in Subway.
In a way, I kind of miss that because since I've moved down here, like we're a bit sort of countrified. But no, it's not the countryside, but we're sort of outside of all the city centres, and you just don't get that anymore. But where I used to live when I lived in Seoul for that, was proper rough. I just remember like my favourite thing to do. Like, you weren't supposed to smoke in the flat that I was in, so we used to always like go and like pretty much hang out the window. And I lived in a big high rise on the 21st floor, and you could just see it was just overlooking like the grottiest council estate you could imagine. If someone said like, imagine like the worst council estate ever, this tops it. Like, it was just horrendous. I remember I looked out the window and there was like probably about 30 kids in the street just chucking fireworks around. And I was just thinking like, oh, like someone who's going to stop, like a kid's going to die here. Like, this isn't good. And then I just heard all this shouting, and there's some woman come out of an house. I thought, oh, it's all right, there's an adult here, they're gonna sort it out. And she come in and she said to her kids, she went, "Who's throwing fireworks?" And the kids went, "It's them over there," and pointed at these other kids. And I thought like she's gonna take her kids in and take them to safety. And she just shouted over at this like group of kids, this group of teenagers. She just went, "If one of them fireworks hits my kids, I'll swat your mum." And then she just went back in her house and left the kids out in the streets. I was like, that's not how you parent.
My dad beat up your dad.
Oh, it was ridiculous. But you just don't get that. At the time, I was so glad to move away from it, but now I kind of miss it.
Oh no, it happens all the time. Because I live on like the 3rd floor, and my windows are single glazing wooden frames, so they don't close properly. So it lets all the weather and all the sound in. So it's rare that it's quiet there. I was sitting there the other night, I was eating my dinner, and I heard a woman shouting. And it's like, you know when it's drunk fun shouting?
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was like aggravated, what the hell is happening shouting. I was like, there's a fight. There's a fight outside the window. And if there is, I'm in prime position because I'm sitting on the back of my couch looking down thinking I've got that. I could film it, put it on Facebook, I could make some money. Send it into Lad Bible, whatever. And this woman's just on the phone and she stood, like I look out the window and she's like directly below me but in the doorway, so I can't see her, but I can see a reflection in the other shot.
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, I can't go up there. I can't go up there." And I can't hear the other side of the conversation because she's on the phone. But well, that's how phones work. And she's like, "I can't go up there because I'm supposed to be off today, aren't I? I'm supposed to be off." And I was like, what's going on? Trying to piece together this woman's life. Like, what's happening?
Pulled a sickie and got out on the piss, hasn't she?
I think that's what's happened. And she's like, "Well, because you know she's going to be there. She's going to be there and she's going to see me and I don't want to see her." I'm thinking, oh, she can't walk past her work because she knows and they're going to be knocking off about this time. So it's going off. "Well, you know I can't talk to him because he's useless." And I'm like, what's going on? And then throughout this conversation, it transpires that like she hates her husband. He treats her really horrible. I think she was talking to her mum. And she go quiet. She go, "I'm sorry, Mum. I'm sorry. Like I can't, I don't mean to talk to you like that. But I just can't talk to anyone. You know he's useless. And I can't talk to anyone." And it go quiet like that. And she go, "What's for tea? What am I having for my tea?" Right. And then I'm like, "What is she having for a tea?" And then she goes, "What am I having for my tea?" "What am I having for my fucking tea?" I'm like, that blew up again. "Fine. I'll have the chicken and chips if it's not gone out of date. Whatever. You know I can't go up there." Like, what is happening? I'm piecing together this woman. And apparently this woman's got a terrible life where she's day drinking now. Her husband doesn't care. Her mum's making her eat out of date chicken and chips. It was just the most bizarre comment. Just any given weeknight, I could just leave my head out the window and hear these conversations. I was like, what is going on in this woman's life? It just... I must sound like a rat pisshead. It's just coffee, it's not even Irish. It's leaning your head out the window and you hear some random shit like that. Just be dead random. "What am I having for my tea?" "What am I having for my tea?" It's like, why is she angry now? What's her said? What is this woman said on the other end of the phone that's made her so angry so quickly? Just
imagine a poor mum just getting all this abuse. All she wants to do is feed her daughter and get her help.
She sounded like she was in her 40s, kind of 50s. Like she's older and maybe she wasn't getting on with her husband and was living with her mum or something. But obviously she's had the day off work to be day drinking because she sounded a bit pissed. And obviously she was scared to go past her work in case they saw her.
Yeah.
You know, you're piecing together these people's lives and just think, God, maybe I should pay less attention. Maybe I should just not pay attention to people because I'm just watching all these people who want extra black pudding, who want to get stabbed in subways, and people who are just like one-sided arguments with their mum on the telephone. It happens all the time. Yeah, the weird guy came back in at work. The weird one.
The car washer.
Yeah, he's...
Does anyone at work know about this podcast?
No.
Does he know about it then?
No. He spends his time... the only thing he watches on the internet is porn. He had a lodger once that locked his iPad and blocked all of his porn sites, and he got mad. He had to bring it into work to get it unlocked. His surname... Well, I don't know. Should I give his name out? I don't know.
You can't give his name out.
He has a car valeting operation. I didn't say a business. It's not really a business. And he also has an operation where he makes things out of pallets.
He's planters.
these planters that are put together with nails that fall apart whenever you want to move them. He makes things out of pallets, right? Which he gets for free off people. And he also has this valeting operation. But he always wears fully branded clothing. Like he's got a high-vis jacket, like a proper waterproof one for doing all the valeting. With his stuff on the back. He came with a polo shirt today with it. He's got his little logo on the front. And he's got his thing on the back. And it says his surname, Group Limited, to make it sound dead official.
He's definitely not registered.
Embroidered on the back of this. Valeting services, phone number. Woodworking services, same phone number. As if it's the group. It's just one guy in a t-shirt with the same phone number on it twice. And he is an actual nightmare. He's a fervent UKIP supporter.
Excellent.
So he comes in and he says that UKIP want him to do some canvassing and do all this stuff. So when he comes in, the first person you see in the corner at our work is John, who is a lifelong Labour supporter and a big Jeremy Corbyn fan. So what happens is we put pro-Corbyn propaganda on the wall next to John because the brothers who own the company are also UKIP supporters. Yeah. And they'll bring down like anti-Corbyn or pro-Brexit memes and stuff and print them out. So we'll go into the papers and find whatever, and so it's become like a tapestry on the wall of like pro-Corbyn, anti-Corbyn, pro-Corbyn, anti-Theresa. Just it goes on and on and on. So he comes in, he sees it all the time, and he came in today, and because he's a bit like that, he'll try and talk to you about it, and I don't want to know about it.
Yeah.
So I saw him talking to this woman at the work, and then he walks out and gets a flyer. I'm like, oh God, here we go. He's going to start talking about politics. It's going to go off. It's going to be bad. It ain't going to be good because whatever he's got to say, you don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
and it's probably going to be about shooting. Like he's the kind of person where he will shoot up a place one day, and they'll come to our work. They go, "Where did he spend time?" There, yeah. And they'll ask us. They'll say, "Did you know?" And we'll be like, "We always knew he was going to break." He's one of them guys. He's definitely going to do.
Definitely got it in him.
He has for sure got it in him. This guy. He's got this leaflet. He's walking around the factory. He's talking to different people with his leaflet. Right. I'm like, what is the leaflet? So I asked my mate who's working next to me. I was like, see what if you can find out what's in this leaflet, right? It turns out he's got this leaflet he's carrying around. It's well creased. It's been in his back pocket the entire time. It's even got some of the pictures faded off it. He's been touching it so much, right? This is... He goes, see this? And he showed my mate, and he goes, who's that? He's like, it's a picture of a woman and a kid. Who's that? And he goes, this woman, right, looks like my girlfriend. I go, what? He goes, she looks a bit like my girlfriend. I said, have you got a picture of your girlfriend? I can't believe he's got a girlfriend. Have you got a picture of your girlfriend? He goes, no, I haven't got a picture of her, so I carry this leaflet around. It looks just like her. It's just... And the bit that's come off is because he's been touching her face all the time.
It's the best he can do when he's not got his iPad.
That's it. He's like, look at that. I said, who's that? He goes, it looks like my girlfriend. I can't believe he's got a girlfriend. He goes, well, have you got a picture of her so we can put it side by side? He goes, no, but that's why I've got this, so I'm carrying it around. It's just like one that you get in like a doctor's surgery or something. Like, are you insured?
Yeah.
Like, it's a picture of a family looking happy. And he's like spliced himself into this woman's life, this poor model that's in this leaflet. It's just... It's unbelievable, isn't it? I've got a picture of my girlfriend, so I'm carrying this leaflet around instead.
What a guy. I want to meet him.
Oh, he's terrible. He's terrible. He sits in his car because he does the valeting at work for the brothers that own the business. They basically just keep him around as just he'll valet for whatever. And so he clean the cars. But in between, he says when he loses energy because he thinks it's a bit too warm at the minute. When he loses energy, he eats cakes in his car. So he's got a cooling box in his car, but all that's in it is like the reduced section of Tesco. So it's just like some random bits of ham, a couple of Scotch eggs, some like ice buns that have gone hard. Like, it's just, what the hell? This guy's life is a mess. And then he goes home and his lodger's locked his iPad from all the porn and he can't get back at it, so he has to bring it into work. It's just... Oh, I'll tell you what I did as well. I told them Bob Ross was my dad.
Have you got away with that? Like, have you had it?
I got away with it until today.
Oh.
Because John in the corner, the old guy, right? I don't know if we talked about... Did I talk about the balloon, Jeff the balloon?
You've definitely told me about it. I don't know if you talked about it on here.
He's such a weird guy. Our work next to it is like a kids' play area kind of a thing, like a wacky warehouse kind of thing, and all his kids are in having parties and that.
Yeah, yeah.
And this orange balloon appeared. So he stuck it in the middle of his press, just this orange balloon. And it's just like this grey factory in the middle of this orange balloon. You're like, oh, there's something quite poetic in that. And we came back, and there's a face on it. Right, this 67-year-old man who needn't work but still does had drawn this face on it, right? And the face is just 2 dots for eyes, a dot for a nose, and a straight mouth.
Not even a happy face.
Just straight. Just I was like, right, do you want to explain the face, John? And he went, well, I didn't want it to be a happy face because I'm not happy all the time. I didn't want it to be a sad face because I thought that would be a call for help. So I just did this face. It's like disinterested face, right? And it just became, we just called it Jeff. And Jeff the balloon lived with John on his little press that he works on. And then eventually got to the point where we had to move it. And he taped it down. So when he pulled the tape off, the balloon went down. So it was like Jeff had died. So I drew a picture of Jeff and I bought a frame. And there were two frames for £1 from Poundland. So I bought this one frame, put Jeff in it, printed it out and put it on his press for him. So it's like the body of Jeff and then like the shrine of Jeff on his, still there on this thing, right? Thinking, what can I do with the other frame? So we were having to talk about what we could put in there. And I was thinking it could be Jet from Gladiators, a bit like Alan Partridge. Yeah. Then I was thinking it could be a picture of Jane Middlemiss. Do you remember her from Kids TV? Because when I was younger, I tried to print a picture of her in her underwear out, but it took forever to load because 56k internet was going dead slow. So I thought maybe I could try and find that picture. I couldn't find a good one. And eventually, when it comes back, we always talk about him at work, Bob Ross. And I found a black and white picture of Bob Ross holding a raccoon like he's rescued it. This raccoon, right? Lovely picture. Best picture I've ever seen. Printed it out, perfect size, put it in the frame, and I've hammered it on the wall. So between me and John in the break room, there's this little table with some salt and pepper pots, very organised, very nice. And then on the wall next to it is a picture of Bob Ross.
Holding a raccoon.
And you can just see these people at work looking and like, who's that in the picture? Like looking amongst each other. You can tell something's been said, something's been mentioned. And
yeah.
And then came on and I was like, yeah, I told him it was my dad. For ages and ages. And then the 2 brothers came into the staff room today. So for like 3 weeks this has been going on. Came in and he went, who's that in the picture? And one of the brothers went, that's Bob Ross, the landscape guy. I was like, they're giving it up. He's giving it up. They know I'm lying to them. But they just couldn't have, for weeks they couldn't handle it. They can't handle any change, these people. Like me and I don't know if we talked about this before, but me and my mate started eating yogurt. Right, like like natural yogurt.
Yeah.
So in the morning I'll put muesli in the yogurt and soak it, and then I'll eat that on my morning break as like my breakfast. And he does the same thing. And so the first day we both peeled out these yogurts, you could see everyone staring. And you could tell that people were talking behind the scenes like, what's going on with these yogurts? Why have they both got yogurt? Like, what's going on with this yogurt thing? And like, you can tell, what's this soup of the day thing Scott's doing? I don't understand what the soup of the day thing is. It's just soup every day.
Just need to talk about.
They just
like,
can't. They have
nothing else going on other than what's changed at work.
They can't handle anything like that. So they're just like, what's going on with this soup of the day? It's just a picture of soup that I eat every day that I upload, and they just can't handle it. And like any change like that, I remember once they were telling me that someone had to get called into the office because they wouldn't eat this woman's birthday cake. This is how petty it is. They were like, it's my birthday, I brought in this cake. And so they cut this cake up and they were like, here you go. And he was like, oh, this person that used to work there was like, oh, I don't want any. He's like, no, you've got to have some. He's like, no, I just don't fancy a bit of cake. And they took it so personally, they went to the directors of the business and were like, this person refusing to eat my cake. I think it's personal. I think this and that. And it all kicked off about this cake. Right?
Did he eat it?
No. But then a few weeks later, it was one of their birthdays. This woman at work who was arguing about the cake. There was a birthday at home and they had a party or whatever with a buffet. And they brought in the remains of the sandwiches that were handmade, the triangles cut together with the cucumber and all this and that. And also the leftovers of a Subway platter, which is obviously far superior sandwich to whatever this is.
I'm imagining that got smashed.
She brought them in, these last 7 sandwiches. because it's like a 6-inch cut in half, isn't it? So it's like a 3-inch sandwich. You've got like 6 or 7 of them in a tray. Just help yourself, lads. We'll have them for dinner. Okay, no problem. So then they come back into the break room. This is like 3 weeks after the cake gate. And then one guy grabbed one and started eating and gone, oh, that's a nice sandwich, that. And then John, the old boy, gone, oh, that's a nice sandwich, that. And this guy who wouldn't eat the cake went, well, they had a go at me about not eating the cake, so I'm going to eat some of these sandwiches. So he picked up like 2 or 3 and was like, oh, these are really nice. And then ate another one. This woman came in to eat Subway, found 1 sandwich left, and this guy on the upturned lid of his pack-up box had just got these lined up Subway sandwiches. So like she's looking disgusted, like, oh, that's how it is it? And looking at these like triangle jobs that are left, looking at him, and he's just oblivious, just like shout to that. And then now, 3 minutes later, she's in the director's office, like, I know I said he didn't eat the cake before, but now he's eating all the Subway. It's just so petty. You have to get like, imagine being called into the office because you ate a sandwich or because you didn't eat a birthday cake. You could just you could feel it. You could feel it in the air. This woman really wanted these sandwiches. By the time she's got there, he was a fat bloke with 3 of them on a lid, reading the paper, eating these sandwiches, thoroughly enjoying himself, like just looking daggers right at him, now having the last one. I just thought, God, that is exactly what it's like at work. So when you put a picture of Bob Ross up, they just can't handle the change. They don't like the change. They can't handle it. And then you're getting called into the office because you're eating sandwiches now. It's like, I got told off because I wasn't eating cake. Then she said, help yourself, so I did. So Subway Gate and Cake Gate were really close apart, so you can't have anything nice at work. You can't have anything like that.
I don't understand how all these people have ended up to working at the same place.
I don't know whether they're all just fucking weird, or just they were all normal and working together just made them all weird. For so long,
it's just made them all mental.
Because they're all in double figures at this place. I mean, John's worked there for like more than 35 years. That's more than I've been alive. He's worked for this company. Lee's in like 20 years.
You need to think, like, is that how you want to end up?
Yeah, if I turned out like John, it'd be hilarious. He's a rich old guy who doesn't spend money on anything. But then draws a really morbid face on a balloon. Doesn't want to put a sad one because it would be a cry for help. So these people are out there. Cake Gate. That happened at my work. That was a big occasion. They talk about that. I think I might wait till my birthday in a couple of months' time and buy a Subway platter and bring it in just to see if anything ever gets said. Knowing that someone will be like, remember the last time we had this Subway? That was the guy that was that ate the Subway sandwiches and didn't eat the cake was the same guy that was outraged when that woman was taking the really going to the toilet really loudly in the next room.
Oh, yeah.
You're working so closely together, there's always a friction.
Dinner down.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh man. Yeah, it's insane. I think because there's so little of us and it just ends up being weird. It feels like I've worked there for years and I've only worked there for 6 months. But I just know everything. We just talk about it all the time. It just becomes like, it just gets funnier and funnier. Just talking about it. I've known about Cake Gate for months and months, and then it got brought up again today, and it just sets me off. It just sets me off a treat. You know, you've got people around you that are just bizarre, man, because they're nothing.
Do other people that work there realise how funny it is, or are they like genuinely just?
They are the least funny people in the world. Like they're like Mrs. Brown's Boys fans. Oh. Do you know what I mean? Like they just go home and watch Coronation Street and look after the kids and nothing. You know, they're not. They don't understand how funny that it is.
Yeah.
How like just. Sometimes I'll say something deadpan and you'll just fall about. And they'll be like, what are you talking about? And you'll be like, well, I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say to you. They're just unintentionally funny. Because they're so normal and so just like, we'd never be in the same room if it wasn't for work.
Yeah.
We would never be in the same, we're not in the same circles, we're not in the same, so just the fact that we cross paths at this one place and we just think it's hilarious, it just makes it 10 times worse. Just all this stuff happens every day.
It's mad, isn't it? Like work, you spend like most of your awake hours with people that you would never ever choose to work with. Like, to be fair, the people I'm with at the minute, they're all pretty normal. But when I was on nights, like there was some absolute lunatics
Nice,
on that.
yeah.
Like the people that are on nights are people who are not suitable to be like representing the company when everyone's awake. Like there's some like absolute just proper creatures that you come across. Like I've done nights for about 3 years. Like some of the people that I've worked with over the time are just this is just absolutely. Like I don't even know how to describe them.
No, I don't.
But,
They're oddities.
That's probably one for another day.
I think it probably is.
Cheers for giving us your attention for however long it's ended up being.
A bit of a ramble.
No Frills Podcast, 4th Friday of every month at 5 GMT, 12 ET or 9 PT on Lucky Star Radio, and podcast version available sans music on SoundCloud.
It'll be on SoundCloud.
See you next time.
See you later. Bye.